Hey, what's up, YouTube? What's up, social media? What is up, internet world? My name's Matthew, and I decided I'm going to start making some videos. They're called A Minute with Matthew, also known as Mr. Matthew Thinks. That was my Instagram back in the day. But I'm just decided I'm going to make some videos just with my thoughts. So hopefully it'll turn out kind of exciting, turn out kind of cool. So today I'm just going to, I was just thinking a little bit about anger management. I think anger is something that a lot of us deal with. And there's a lot of confusion around anger because I think a lot of people label anger as something you should avoid. It's like crying. It's something you should be ashamed of. You should avoid it. You should not embrace it. A lot of people don't want to admit they have anger, or it has a lot of negative connotations. But there's a very specific Bible verse that I cannot reference right now, but I can quote it. And it says, I believe it's in Psalms, and it says, be angry, but do not sin. And if you notice, and this is where I'm not quoting anything now, I'm just going off biblical themes, is that anger is not something that is excluded from the Bible. It's not something that is like sexual immorality, where there's no place where it's really accepted or condoned. It's pretty much it's not like that, where it's anger is almost accepted as something that a lot of people get angry. God is angry on multiple occasions. And like I said, I'm not quoting scriptures, I'm just talking about it. But it says very specifically, be angry, but do not sin. And I think what that means is, like, anger is natural. Sometimes anger motivates us. Sometimes anger pushes us to do what we're afraid to do normally. Or it maybe people are blocking me right now. Whatever the case, the verse says, be angry but do not sin. Don't let your anger cause you to do things you regret. And it's for some people that may be destroying things, for some people that may be cursing, for some people that may be yelling at someone else or being violent. And I think when you get angry, you have to realize your anger's there for a reason. You have to acknowledge it and try to understand it and figure it out. You can't just walk around angry, or it will cause you to sin. And I believe that anger does not rob you of your happiness. Anger does, if anything, is somewhat of like an adrenaline rush. But when you let anger cause you to sin, that's when your day gets screwed up. Because if you're cussing people, I notice this all the time. As soon as I start cussing people out or telling people how it is, or just going all out, and sometimes you have to tell people it is, but you can do it respectfully. You can do it, with salt on your words, or however you want to season it. But to cuss someone out and go over the top or threaten them and just give, that is usually going to affect your own mental health. And that's the thing about anger and anger management, is that you have to control yourself. You have to recognize that you're feeling angry. You have to acknowledge it, and then you have to control it. And if you can't control your tongue, if you immediately are cursing and swearing and saying negative, over the top negative things beyond the point of being truthful, or being physically destructive, you have to stop it there first. And this isn't always the case, but what I'm learning right now is that if you're having a problem with something that's making you angry, but you really care about it, and it's not something you just want to completely walk away from, you need to look at yourself first. You need to think about, how is my anger controlling me? Because there's a good chance that might be affecting whatever the situation is. And if you aren't controlling your anger and being reasonable, you're either going to make choices you don't want to make, or you're going to affect something you really don't want to do. So focus on that. If you have a problem with anger, don't think about it so much right now as, I got to get away from what's making me angry. I got to stop what's making me angry. Look at yourself. You're responsible for your own happiness. You're responsible for your own state of being and your own mental health for the most part. So control yourself. Bite your tongue. Try to say nice things. Try to say constructive, encouraging, constructive things. Try to avoid negative, insulting things. Try to avoid physical passive aggression and verbal passive aggression, and really focus on what's making you angry and how you can communicate that if you need to. Sometimes all you have to do is control yourself. Sometimes controlling your anger and biting your tongue gives you the biggest sense of relaxation and peace, because it really puts you in the spirit of, I'm going to observe the world and interact with it rather than try to control it. And that's what makes you angry. So there's my little chit chat about anger management. If you're getting angry, it's not necessarily mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean you're doing something wrong, but you need to try to figure out what's making you angry and how you can go about furthering that or accomplishing something further without being destructive and hurting yourself in the process. So God bless. I hope everyone who ever watches this is having an awesome day and got something out of it. I do not want to be vain. I do not want to be conceited, but I feel like this might be a cool little fun thing to do. And that already going a little too much by explaining that to you. You probably don't care. All right. Much love.